Hello, and thank you for joining me for Dark Novels. I am Old Lady Simmer. There's a lot that's happened the past few episodes, so before I press play on this part of the game, I'm going to go over a few things. You all know that at the vampire party that Jerome kidnapped Leia and was calling her Lillian, which is his late wife, and he kidnapped her. He was planning on forcing her to marry him and keeping the child for himself. A lot of things have been going on though, and I think Jerome was having second thoughts because he was realizing that no one could replace Lillian. And the last episode was a flashback into his life, and that's what he had been remembering the past couple days. He was thinking about his life with Lillian and his daughter, and now he was just wondering what he was going to do about Leia because he kidnapped this girl. He told her that it was because she was Lillian, but he's also thinking maybe he could tell her it's because he knows she was going to write a book about him, a nasty book exposing the vampires. When he got to the vampire hostel, though, Leia kind of had another proposition for him. She said, "Look, Jerome, I don't know what your deal is, but I think you should let me go. If you let me go, I won't write a book about you that's bad and about your organization, because I'm curious about your life. I'm curious about how and when you became a vampire and what made you think that I was Lillian, or because I look like her. Why did that happen? What triggered in your brain? What brought you to a life of crime? And it doesn't have to be a bad thing. We know, everybody knows that the mafia and the vampires are all running the city together. It's not. So I'm going to keep pausing it and unpausing it because they keep running off. So what's happening is he's starting to tell her about his life and about his daughter. He's telling her that she passed away from the fever and he couldn't take it. She asked him if she could see pictures of his family. But then something else happened. She was looking at the picture more closely. She said, "Wait a minute. That's my great-great-grandmother. I'm not kidding." And then she's like, "I found out all my information on simsdna.com. I grew up in a foster home, so if you know, Leia grew up in a foster home, which is where she met Max. So I was raised by my grandmother until I was 6 when she passed away. But I had her notebook and all her information, and I looked everything up." So she decided to look up the information and show Jerome. He stood up like, "What? What is going on here?" So what they discovered, and let me pause it here for a moment because they keep running off, is that Leia's great-great-grandmother, let's have them sit right here and talk. Leia's great-great-grandmother was adopted by a family in Forgotten Hollow. But she didn't find that out until after her parents passed away, and could never find out who her biological parents were. But she knew growing up that she didn't belong with them, and they always insisted she was theirs. She remembers being a small child in another home, and that's what it states in her memoirs, that she had given to her grandmother. So Leia's grandmother had these memoirs and had these diaries that she passed on to Leia when she passed away, just in case Leia wanted to find out information herself later on in life. She was never able to fit the pieces together, though, because no one ever really knew where her great-great-grandmother came from. Apparently, she was not the biological daughter of her parents as she thought she was when she was born, and she noted that in her memoirs and talked about her never feeling comfortable with them, never feeling like they were her parents, and she always remembered another man with a mustache and dark hair. So Leia starts thinking, what if something is to that? She's like, you can wipe people's minds, right? He's like, I'm not going to wipe your mind. She's like, no. Supposedly, my great-grandmother never felt that she was their daughter. What if they were wiping her mind and all along she was your daughter? So, but you don't have proof. There was no body. That sounds fishy to me. Leia's gonna pull up photos on her phone. They have to work this out. He's like, that is my Amelia. He said, nobody can know. We have to keep this a secret. He said, you have to pretend to hate me. You really have to pretend to hate me. And she's like, I do hate you. He's like, no. Now it makes sense why I feel love for you. So basically, he's telling her that he has enemies, and if his enemies were willing to take his daughter, and now it's confirmed because he saw the pictures of his daughter, which was Leia's great-great-grandmother as a child. He now knows that his daughter was alive the whole time, which makes Leia his granddaughter, well, great-great-great-granddaughter. So he's thinking, if it's found out, that Leia might be in danger now, and it explains why he felt love for her when he saw her. So he's basically telling her that they have to pretend to be enemies. So he wants her to write the first book she originally intended on writing. You want me to slam you and stash your characteristics in this book? And he's like, yes, I have to have a reason to hate you, which I really won't. We have to have a very public fight, and we'll only communicate in secret. I will provide for your baby. But first he had to tell her how much danger she'd be in if it's known that he had love for her. So he went off to make some phone calls. In case you're wondering who Jerome called, you'd be right if you thought Don Osorio. That's his enemy, so no one's gonna suspect a thing. But Don was pissed off and wanted Leia. Release her to me now, he said. So Jerome explained to him the latest developments and said, I'm going to release her to you, but you need to come here and we'll stage a fight. Her safety is more important than anything, so make it look as real as possible. Feel free to beat the crap out of me. I'm a vampire. I will heal. So the plan is, Leia's gonna rest while the whole plan takes effect. Don Lothario is gonna show up and pretend to be angry and demand her release. Jerome is also going to pretend to fire Kent. But Kent is going to be actually hired to be a bodyguard to go protect Leia. But he's going to pretend that they're boyfriend and girlfriend and they're now living together. So it looks like everybody's starting to gather down here. Don Lothario showed up and is asking for Jerome. Where's Jerome? As soon as Jerome gets down here, he could confront him. It's nice of you to join me, Mr. Lothario. As you could see, I brought Leia up so you could see her. That's what Jerome told Dawn. Dawn turned around and said, "You need to release her right now. I've had it, and I will bring in the authorities if you don't do so." And Jerome said, "Well, she's writing a book about me that I don't approve of. I will not release her." So then they staged the argument, and Don Lothario really went for it. He said, "Make the fight look real." I think Leia's really into this. So he did just that. He really kicked his butt. Next, he chased them out of the bar and asked them not to come back. Now it's time for Kent to be part of the charade. But he doesn't have to pretend to be mad at Jerome. He really is for kidnapping Leia. "I don't want to talk to you." Jerome flies away, but then comes back. Drama, right? "You're fired. You're so fired." Then he comes back. "How dare you bring her into our home? She was spying on us the whole time. You brought her in. But that doesn't give you the right to kidnap her, Jerome. She has the right to write her book." He's like, "I'm gonna bite you." He's like, "No, you're not. Get away from me. I will get you, I swear." Then he shouted bad words at Kent. "Ooh, I'm so scared," Kent said. "You can't fire me. I quit." So everybody made it back to the house, and the fight looked legit. So now Kent is living with them as a special bodyguard to take care of Leia. She hugged Don Lothario for acting quick, but not everybody understands what's going on. So they're all going to sit together and chat, and she's going to fill them in on the whole situation. So she's basically telling them, so Leia explained the whole story to them and let them know what happened. So Max and Don are gonna talk it over, and they're really tripping out on what happened. Like, wow, okay, we got her out of there safely. But should we trust Jerome? Max doesn't really trust Jerome. He's like, "But I saw the pictures. They showed me the computer. Leia is his great-great-great-granddaughter." But he's actually hungry and thinking of macaroni and cheese. What am I saying? Grilled cheese. It's all a bunch of trash to me, but I guess we'll figure it out. He's like, "Right now we all better get some sleep." Leia is gonna put on some comfortable clothes and go to sleep. She's near the end of her pregnancy, and she's very tired. Now, Quinn went into sleep in the wrong room, so let's wake him up. He didn't know whose room is whose, so for tonight he's gonna sleep in Leia's room. It's okay. They'll set up a room for him tomorrow. Max is gonna go to sleep, and so is Don Lothario. Wait, why can't she lay down? It's her bed too. Oh gosh, go to sleep. Okay, you know what? Get up. She doesn't know you well enough. So go to sleep. It's starting to snow. She kicked him out. She didn't think it was a good idea that he sleep in the same room with her. So what we're gonna do, you know what? Leia, go to sleep. Stop cleaning their room. You're so rude. They don't need the room cleaned today. And I don't know if that spray is good for the baby. So she's going to sleep there. And what we're going to do is put a blow-up mattress in the guest room. He's by the front door too. He's only there to protect them. That could probably be his room for a while too, until the baby's old enough to have her own room. Leia was like, I don't know, buddy, get out of here. So Max, I don't know why Max is up. Go back to sleep. I know there's a lot of excitement tonight, but we need to figure stuff out in the morning. Everyone needs to get a good night's sleep. There's a snowstorm coming. Okay, the following morning, everybody woke up and was busy around the house. Don Lothario decided to make some breakfast. What is he making? Okay, scrambled eggs and bacon. This teapot's disgusting. Ew, why is it so dirty? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that, and we'll get him a new one. I don't know why I wouldn't clean, so it's... Leia's still asleep, and so is Max. Kent has been up early because he received a package this morning to bring in the house from Jerome. And it's this really pretty antique bassinet. And he wanted Leia to have it. It belonged to his daughter when she was a baby, and he had it restored for her. Planning on using it for Leia's baby when he was going to force her to marry him, but then he's really glad he didn't since he's her great-great-great-grandfather. So that was a good thing, but it's really pretty. He still wanted the baby to have it. So he had it delivered this morning. So now, as you can see, the money was deposited into the household account for Leia and the baby. I'm going to get a little safe eventually when we move to a bigger place to try to separate it. But for now, they're going to stay here. And maybe now they have a little extra money, they could spruce the place up a little bit. It could really use some curtains and some new furniture. Now Kent is making food too. I guess he's a healthy eater. He wants a salad. Figures. But she's making green beans or something. What is she making? I don't know what that is. Let's see. She's making vegetable tempura. Alright. Okay, that's fine. For breakfast. So she's gonna eat it. Oh, she only made one. Okay. Things got a little heated the next morning when Jerome showed up unexpectedly in disguise. Not a very good disguise at all, but a disguise nonetheless. He wanted to shift his weight around and question them on how they were going to protect Leia. So he insisted to have a meeting, and he's trying to tell them what to do. He thought Quinn should marry Leia because her last name should change, and that make it harder to find her. But no one's ready for that. Then he had the idea that they could pretend that Leia had a donor egg and was carrying a baby that was going to belong to Max and Don Lothario. And maybe that they should get married for show, but Max is like, we've only been dating a short time, we're not ready for that either. Jerome starts to get really angry because nobody's listening to him or following his orders. Max starts yelling at him to stay out of it. It's none of your business. We have this. We're gonna take care of her. She wouldn't be in any danger if it wasn't for you anyway. He's like, they're my family. They're my bloodline. I will provide for them and make sure they're looked after. That's my great-great-granddaughter. You have no access to this baby. That's my child, and I will never let you near her. Leia sits down and is trying to calm the situation. She has one of the memoirs that her grandmother gave her. Jerome calmed down a little bit and said, I understand. If I were you and in your position, I would feel the same way. I'm just heartbroken that I can't be a part of my family that I didn't know existed till today. Max calmed down and said, I agree. This is a totally different situation we're all involved in, but you need to stay away. Now please leave. But before he could leave, Leia went into labor. Everybody ran in here to help her. Now, I was originally going to have her give birth at the hospital, but I'm having to record this part over because that didn't work. She couldn't check in at all. I don't know if anybody else is having that issue, but that's what was happening. So Leia's a neighbor. She's having the baby now. Everybody's freaking out. Except Dawn is out there dancing. She's all, get in here, Dawn, or I'm going to drink the potion to switch us back. So he's going to come in here and watch. Okay, so Leia just gave birth to a baby girl, and her name is going to be Raven. Because of the situation that they're all in, they were able to explain it to the Sims Holler records, which meant they were able to put all three of their names on the birth certificate, naming Leia and Max as the biological parents and Don Lothario as a secondary caregiver. So each and every one of them will have parental rights over Raven. So Don Lothario came in here to hold baby Raven, who he's sworn to protect with everything he has. It's already 2 a.m., so he'll be going home tomorrow. Everybody's tired, so he's going to help out with the baby a little bit. He's one of the reasons why she's here. Well, the main reason, actually. But just in case, I'm going to have him change her so she doesn't wake up Leia. And I'm going to have him go to sleep.
Sure.
Sorry. Okay, so it's early in the morning and Don Lothario just left for work, and then he's going to go back to his apartment tonight. So Max is holding his little girl. She didn't want a bottle though, so maybe he could rock her. Kent is still sleeping, so somebody's calling him. What is... Oh, Thorne Bailey is the celebrity, right, that he wanted to work for. He's going to have to wait on that for a while. He wanted to be his bodyguard, and remember when he wanted to stop working for the vampires? So Max is gonna go get some cereal. I guess they all live off cereal when Lothario is not here. So Max is eating cereal. And wow, when did Leia get so good in the kitchen? If I did that, I'd chop my hand off. See, this is why she doesn't cook. She's gonna burn the house down. Now mommy could spend some cuddle time with her little angel. Her little baby. Leia just loves her so much. She's precious. Leia was so happy she decided to paint a picture of her little baby. Everyone in the apartment was so in love with this beautiful little angel that joined them in this world. She had plenty of love and hugs and cuddles from everybody. She's going to be very spoiled, I would say. I'm gonna stop for today, and I hope you enjoyed watching this episode. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next time.